These flying inventions are shaping the future of everyday travel. Let's take a look. Learning to fly the Aerolite 103 is easier than decoding teenage slang. No pilot's license required. That's because its aluminum frame is ultra-light and the engine is ultra-weak at just 35 horsepower. Still, that's enough to push it to 100 kilometers an hour, and it only costs $11,500. One day, engineers from McLaren, Rolls-Royce, and Boeing got together to build a Formula One for the sky. That's how the Airspeeder Mark III, an octocopter that rockets to 120 kilometers an hour in just 2.6 seconds, was born. Its design takes inspiration from 1950s race cars, but the tech is pure future. LiDAR and radar-based collision avoidance. Ferrari could have used that last season. Of course, it's not perfect. During a race, the battery can run out, so you take a pit stop and swap the pack. Takes 20 seconds. Oh, and one more thing. For now, the Airspeeder is remotely piloted, but the next model will have a seat for a human pilot. Somewhere, Verstappen's dad is rubbing his hands together. At just 1100 by 640 by 665 millimeters, and with a modular design, this little guy folds down neatly into a car trunk. Oh, so that's why they call it a flying suitcase. Honestly though, Magic Suitcase seems more appropriate. It weighs just 70 kilograms, can haul over 200 kilograms, and handles altitudes up to 6 kilometers, even in Arctic conditions, like it's no big deal. Pretty sure we just found the perfect ride for emergency evacuations. Throw your Tesla on the X trash heap and take a look at the Air 1. You can charge it at a station or right in your own garage. That's right, it actually fits because its wings fold up. This aircraft can fly up to 177 kilometers on a single charge at a speed of 250 kilometers an hour. All you have to do is move the joystick and it'll maintain stability, direction, and altitude. If you're still not convinced, just take a look at how insanely cool the cockpit opens. Do Tesla's pop-out door handles even come close? At last, kings can finally travel the way they were always meant to, sitting on a throne. This one is equipped with 10 micro-engines capable of lifting a 200-kilogram monarch up to 3,000 meters and carrying him at 250 kilometers an hour so he can gaze down upon the peasants stuck in traffic. Oh, and it can do backflips, which, as we all know, is a crucial skill for royalty. The Tetra Aviation Mark V looks like a high-tech machine from the future, but here's the surprise. It's sold as a kit plane. You build it yourself like an aviation construction set. The most fun part is stuffing 32 of the 33 propellers into protective cages. Prison guard vibes guaranteed. And yes, this DIY build actually flies up to 160 kilometers at 160 kilometers an hour. It can also lift a pilot weighing up to 113 kilograms. For the Mark V, nothing is impossible. Want to become an airborne biker? Well, the jet bike can help with that. It lifts off to 4.5 meters using these black waffle makers, or scientifically speaking, a jet thrust system, and accelerates to 97 kilometers an hour. The best part is it doesn't require a pilot's license, so you won't have any trouble with the police. Wait, what the? For a second it looked like AI, but no. This is a real flying car, more like a Jaguar, weaving through concrete jungles at 217 kilometers an hour at an altitude of 915 meters with 5 passengers on its back. Yeah, a seriously upgraded Jaguar. It also features a gorgeous lifting body, meaning the fuselage itself generates lift. The rotors and engines are integrated into a carbon fiber frame, which reduces noise and even allows it to land in a narrow parking space. And here's the perfect ride for a date. Its open design immediately proves that your girlfriend is real and not an anime waifu. Double bonus if she loves nature, because instead of gasoline, this thing runs on electricity. One charge gets you 100 kilometers of eco-romantic cruising at 200 kilometers an hour. Hit the like button if you want one of these. Toyota decided that conquering the road wasn't enough and invested $500 million into Joby air taxis. 6 tilting electric motors producing just 45 decibels still push it up to 321 kilometers an hour. Sounds like a solid investment to me. What do you think? Drop a comment. Even if you're stuck in a swamp near Shrek's place, the Lilium jet can land and pick you up. It doesn't even need a landing pad, let alone a runway. High-capacity batteries and 36 electric motors allow it to fly up to 300 kilometers an hour. That's basically 1 hour from Lord Farquaad's castle to Fiona's tower. Donkey would definitely approve, and he'd love the wings too, since they are thin and elegant like his lady dragons. That design lets the Lilium climb up to 9,144 meters. Corbin Dallas's taxi was cool, sure, but it's got nothing on the EHang VT35. With a range of 200 kilometers, this thing will fly to Floston Paradise all by itself. Just punch the coordinates into the onboard computer. Forget the multipass. The VT35 has 2 standout features. First, 8-meter wings at the front and rear that let it glide through the air like it's riding on a cushion. Second, a smart cabin with climate control, a multimedia system, and space for carry-on luggage, or a small ruby rod. Fortunately, Zorg is not included. If you get behind the wheel every morning, wait, what wheel? Astro's Elroy is a fully autonomous drone. Just tap your destination on the touchscreen and calmly finish your breakfast while 17 rotors carry you to work at 70 kilometers an hour. And don't worry about birds or bats, this drone uses AI to recognize moving objects. So instead of flying away from you, they'll be cheerfully waving through the panoramic windows. Talk about a good morning. I don't know how Aleph Aeronautics managed to smuggle an alien engineer down to Earth, but it was worth it. With the Model A, you can be calmly driving down the road, and if some idiot jumps in front of you out of nowhere, literally or figuratively, you activate 8 rotors hidden inside the body and instantly fly right over them. Honestly, why land at all when the car can tilt 90 degrees and cruise forward like a spaceship? Don't worry, the cabin stays level the entire time, so your body won't be doing any surprise acrobatics. The Switchblade is a 3-wheel sports car that didn't wait for Optimus Prime and mastered transformation on its own. Its wings and tail deploy in under 3 minutes, and suddenly you're flying at 321 kilometers an hour up to 4,000 meters. Impressive? You haven't even heard about its safety systems yet. We're talking rollover and crush protection, collision avoidance, a parachute, and possibly even an energy shield stolen from Megatron. It's incredible. Check out another racing drone. This 5-meter monocoque stays airborne using 12 propellers, while electric motors with a combined output of 220 horsepower push it to 140 kilometers an hour. And the 165-kilogram payload is already hinting at the future. A fully geared pilot will fit in here just fine. If you're not building a piloted multicopter in your spare time, what are you even doing? This mad genius bought motors, batteries, and propellers on eBay, bolted everything onto an aluminum frame, and ended up with a machine that can stay airborne for 15 minutes. Just enough time to fly to the store for beer and make it back while it's still cold. Your mom would never call the Skyrider X1 dangerous because its sealed body can handle driving, flying, and even floating. Vertical takeoff is fully automated. In about 1 minute, the autopilot tucks away the wheel footrests and unfolds the rotors. After that, you do what any well-behaved child would do. Grab the joystick, accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour, and fly off to visit your parents. 40 minutes should be plenty. Just keep in mind that it has a carrying limit of 100 kilograms, so skip that third slice of mom's pie if you want to make it back home. Apparently, Honda took a look at Toyota and thought, yeah, we can do better. Instead of a regular aircraft, they built a hybrid with a gas turbine that works as a generator to charge the batteries during flight. That pushes its range to 400 kilometers. Seriously, you could fly across Austria in a straight line on this thing. Maybe you're that nihilistic penguin who chose his own path and decided to climb a mountain. If so, the SkyDrive SDO3 will make your rebellion way more comfortable. It has 8 propellers, each powered by its own electric motor, so if one fails during a snowstorm or bad weather, the rest keep carrying you upward. The only downside is that the flight time is just 10 minutes, but hey, with your willpower, it could last even longer. The Nexus Air Taxi seriously looks like an upgraded version of the SA-2 Samson from Avatar, except instead of 2 fans, it has 6 tilted ducted fans, each 2.5 meters wide. That setup lets it take off vertically and then smoothly transition into forward flight. Its hybrid electric system uses a gas turbine to power electric rotors. The result is 241 kilometers an hour top speed and the ability to carry either 450 kilograms of cargo or 4 passengers. For landing, thankfully, all it needs is a regular 12 by 12 meter pad, not a giant clearing near the Tree of Souls. The Hongqi Tianlin 1 is made up of 3 separate modules, a passenger cabin, a monocopter frame, and a wheeled chassis that also works as a part-time charging station. Now, picture this, an annoying coworker's running toward your car hoping for a ride. You press a button, the frame unfolds in seconds, and the cabin lifts off at 150 kilometers an hour. The abandoned chassis calmly drives away to recharge, and you go live your best life. Forget the new Subway Surfers update. Collecting coins while flying on a hoverboard is now possible in real life. Lexus made this board levitate using 32 superconductors cooled with liquid nitrogen. One refill gives you 20 minutes of active escape from the police, or wherever you usually ride. The board itself is made from bamboo and composite materials and weighs just 11.5 kilograms, basically perfect for Marty McFly cosplay. Marvel CGI aircraft don't even come close to the Doroni H-1X. It can accelerate to almost Mercury-level speed at 305 kilometers an hour while lifting up to 226 kilograms with 2 passengers on board. It charges from fast car chargers or from Thor's lightning if you happen to have some. Flight time is 40 minutes. The H-1X is also built with safety in mind. Its tandem wing layout with hidden propellers provides backup thrust if one fails, reduces noise, and keeps people away from spinning blades. That is Iron Man level protection. Archaeopteryx is probably the closest thing to feeling like a bird. You literally wear the aircraft and launch it using your legs, Flintstone style. It's the lightest sailplane in the world, weighing just 54 kilograms. In good conditions, it can glide up to 600 kilometers. With a tailwind, it can reach 130 kilometers an hour. For emergencies, including a sudden encounter with a real Archaeopteryx, there's a built-in parachute. And since it naturally glides, the chances of failing are already very low. A flying car for $3,000 sounds like a typical Temu scam, but the reality is much simpler. This guy bought an old electric car online, stripped everything out of it down to the air freshener, and mounted an H-shaped octocopter on the roof. The result is a car that literally lifted off and now flies at 51 kilometers an hour. This isn't an upgrade, it's a reincarnation. Things are really taken off for Klein Vision, both literally and figuratively. In just 2 years, the air car's engine power jumped from 160 to 340 horsepower. In the air, it flies like a real plane at 250 kilometers an hour. On the road, it can reach 200 kilometers an hour. It fits into a regular garage and is roughly the size of a Rolls-Royce Phantom. That changes the moment you flip a switch. The car deploys 8-meter wings and a 7-meter tail in just 80 seconds. It used to take 3 minutes. Feeling the upgrade? Well, then get ready to fork over $1 million because the air car goes on sale in the coming months. In case you're looking for a backpack, check this out. It has 2 adjustable rotors with a total span of 3 meters and can lift up to 120 kilograms to an altitude of 3,000 meters. Of course, you won't fit a laptop inside, but you can accelerate to 200 kilometers an hour. That feels like a fair trade. The Ziva Zero stands immediately out for its unusual design. It takes off vertically using dual propellers and then hides them, tilts forward, and uses its 2.5-meter circular body as a wing. It's ideal for traveling between remote locations or playing a game of giant frisbee. A company called eHang has created an unmanned taxi for every scenario. The 184 model can carry 100 kilograms and works perfectly for solo trips. The 216 model handles up to 260 kilograms when you need 2 passengers or a lot of luggage. Both can zoom through the city at 130 kilometers an hour, and no police officer is gonna ticket them for speeding. AI controls everything, from route planning to flight stability. If you want, it can even crack jokes during the ride to keep that classic taxi driver vibe. These drones can also be used for medical deliveries and evacuations, making them a genuinely life-saving modern innovation. Inspired by the anime film Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Kazuhiko Hachiya decided to build his own move-up. The goal was to fly either over toxic jungles or over a toxic boss. He still hasn't decided. The aircraft has a 9.6-meter wingspan and a jet engine. The pilot sits inside, securely strapped in. Control is intentionally simple and uses only one's hands, feet, and body weight, just like in the anime. The Colombian Cree jet is exactly the plane your short friend uses to fly home after a seasonal job at the North Pole. With a 4.9-meter wingspan and just 3.9 meters in length, it's the smallest twin-engine piloted aircraft in the world. Not to mention the lightest at just 78 kilograms. Our episode is coming in for landing, so tell us in the comments whether you believe in a future where everyone gets around in the air. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.